Hello and welcome back to Chasing Trophies. Hope everyone is doing well. I have Faiz by joining me today, and today the topic is, can it come home? Can England win the World Cup after 50, 60 years? They've been chanting this for the longest time, and now in the last few tournaments, I think like the last six, seven tournaments, under the leadership of Harry Kane, I would say that England are getting closer and closer. Right now, they're in another semi-final. Jude Bellingham is an absolute star. He's been incredible in this World Cup. Pickford has been great. Harry Kane has been great. But there's an interesting thing that happened in the post-match conference. The manager Thomas Tuchel, he did mention that they played well and everything, but he said that they did get lucky. There was like he was proud and everything, but they were sloppy and they were lucky. And Jude Bellingham reacted to that, saying that man, yeah, like whatever, he doesn't know the conditions and everything like that, and basically kind of demeaning the manager. In one way, you look at it like, how can a player talk about the manager like that, especially the manager who's backing him, trusting him, and everything? And why is the manager being overcritical when they won? You could say, but if you look at it from the other side, maybe it's good that they're having their honest opinions and they're saying what they feel right now. And also, you have to understand it's a quarter-final. Emotions are flowing. So, kabhi, like you say things which maybe you wouldn't have if you were a bit in a normal situation. But Faiz, very interesting that these comments happened right after the game. Your thoughts on what Tuchel said and then what Bellingham said after?
Yeah, I mean, from Tuchel's standpoint, maybe from a pure tactical way, he's probably saying कि भाई we should have done more. We were sitting on the ball a bit more. हाँ, first half में हम बहुत ज़्यादा sit back करे. So maybe as a tactician, or what plans he had set off, they were not meeting his expectation. Yes, the England team, I think they turned it around beautifully. And they got the first goal. Of that goal is obviously going to be questioned and stuff, but they got the first goal, and on the second they got a goal out of the mistake from the Norway keeper. So I mean, maybe Tuchel is looking at it by, if you want to win the World Cup from this kind of a tactic or from this kind of a gameplay, maybe it's not what he's envisioning. As a player, I completely sympathize with Jude Bellingham. By Florida, mein, it's 33 degrees. It's hot. It's humid. You're seeing people get cramps left, right, and center. As a manager, you can just probably, be like, okay, good shift. And like, if you look at the words that Jude Bellingham is using, he's using words like it's a good tough shift. It's a good tough team. The opposition in these conditions. He's not probably played in these conditions. It's so hot and humid. And Haaland is like 6'7". You have Sorloth who's 6'9". It's pound for pound kind of a situation. Or maybe for him it's like, आके अगर manager हमारे पे पुकार रहा है जब हम ऐसे गर्मी में खेल के तब के we're done and we're roasted, and then you're coming in roasting us on top of that, being one of us. Maybe for a player it's unsettling and it's probably thing, but yeah, you can see that the hunger to win is from both the sides at the end of the day. I mean, Tuchel probably is trying to be a little bit like, don't be complacent with just mediocre football. Try to pull up your socks and stuff. And from Bellingham, he's trying to show that he's a leader and stuff. But I think like both narratives are fine in their own respective ways. But yeah, I think from just that, I'll just side with Jude Bellingham being like, maybe Tuchel could have been a little bit more appreciative and just said like, okay, maybe we have to up the ante when it comes to teams like Argentina, semi-finals. Be a little bit diplomatic in terms of that way and appreciate the guys, because it was very hot. It was very kind of, dehydrating. We saw cramps happening left, right, center. So maybe just sympathize a bit with that situation. But at the end of the day, England reaching a semi-final and they're getting closer to that World Cup dream, like you mentioned, 60 odd years.
Also, I think that उन्हें अगर like चाहता था कि भाई और controlled हो game में, and I think maybe he should have taken Declan Rice off, because when he took him off after that, England lost a bit more control.
Yeah.
It did work
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It worked, like
Yeah.
get him off and playing in that kind of football. They got the goal and everything worked out. But if you're not happy with the control, maybe you have to look at your own decision. That's what Tuchel has to look at as well. Maybe
Yeah.
as to see कि भाई मैं ये tactics नहीं use करना था, अगर मेरे को sloppy नहीं होना था या मेरे को और ball control होना था. If I wanted to be a bit more aggressive with the ball, keep the ball more, keep more possession. He should have probably done that, because Declan Rice was the one who was recovering the ball quicker for England, and he was recycling the ball for them. He was getting the tackles in and stuff and making sure they retain possession. Without him there, they were losing the possession. So maybe it's one of his tactics. So the player can also say, man, you should have taken him off then there. So that's what Tuchel has to look at. But I do agree that the manager has his opinion, and the fact that he's not satisfied and he wants more from his players, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. Maybe the time was not the right place when you just won the quarterfinals, and wo bhi media mein sabke samne you're telling your players off when they won the game. It's probably better to go in the changing room and after like praising them, then you can say that, listen, in the next game we need to or the next day maybe you say that यहाँ पे improve करना, वहाँ पे improve करना. जो नॉर्वे के against करे, अर्जेंटीना के खिलाफ नहीं कर सकते. Maybe they should have been like that, but who are we to say? They're professionals. They probably know how to handle it themselves. लेकिन it was a bit surprising कि ये हो गया. ये मीडिया में आके बोलते हैं, you know how English media is, man, they grasp onto everything. Soon as this happened, this information leaked like straight away, and everyone was talking about it. It became the
And
talking point.
बात यही है कि जूड बेल टूशेल का एक ही बार हुआ बट बेलिंगम के दो बार हुए once right after when he came off the pitch and one when he cooled down he had time to think about what he said the first time he went in the post match press
And
conference
said it
with
again.
the and he said it again so that just shows you that there is a bit of friction between probably the both they're very opposite there are also talks that Jude Bellingham will not going to be considered in the World Cup squad now Jude Bellingham 6 goals Mustafa Bhai in the FIFA World Cup alone he is probably the first English player to do that from open play, having 6 goals, and I think the first guy after Diego Maradona in 1980s, he's gotten two braces back to back in 2 games of the FIFA World Cup. So that just shows you, man, this guy took it on his heart that तुम मेरे को कैसा नहीं लेते like the guy who was supposed to be like the next biggest thing after probably like I don't know who in English football.
And I think the fact that in the past also Jude Bellingham has been restricted from doing media. He himself doesn't want to do media. He doesn't like दूसरे लोगों को बोलते Jude Bellingham had this exception कि all the players have to do it. He doesn't have to go and do the media. But in this World Cup, he's making sure that he's doing it. Now I probably understand why he doesn't want to do it because he gets very irritated very quickly and उन्हें कुछ भी बोल देता. But I think the fact that now he's putting an effort and doing the media rounds and making sure that he's doing the interviews, talking to the thing. I've seen him talk to the obviously their own content creator, but in particular like other news channels and stuff who are reporting. He was the only guy. There was a journalist. I
Venezuela.
think he had yeah, he had a disability. He's the only one who like talked to him and given an interview in Spanish. So he's putting that extra effort, which normally he doesn't put. He doesn't like doing the media rounds. He's not that type of guy. He used to have an exception, and media people hated that कि यार Bellingham क्यों नहीं आ रहा? How can he get the right not to come and everyone else is coming? But England used to protect him, and he also didn't want to do it. But now the fact that he's doing it is showing that by I want to be the star player. I want to be the performer. I want to be out there. I want to be in front of the cameras. I want to be scoring the goals. I want to let me know the opinion. And he's somebody who's not going to mince his words. And उन्हें थोड़ा अलग mentality का है. He grew up like playing football in Germany and now in Spain. He's only 22 years old. Remember, he has a long way to go in football. And I think he's definitely a superstar. There will be controversies with them. There will be things which will go on, but I think he's, in terms of on the pitch, he's conducted himself really well. Even in the media, he's conducted himself pretty well. वो गुस्से में बोल दिया होगा जो बोला. Now, how England look at that? Does that affect the preparation? Because what happens is, guys, if you lose that game against
Yeah,
Argentina, we're gonna come back
I'll
to
talk
this
about
point.
it. Yeah, 100%. I think, uh, I think they got that. The one way that I will look at it is basically why before this also maybe if the friction is happening around the pitch, it's probably happening inside the dressing room. But they still managed to get till the semifinals with all
Yeah.
of that problems that are going on behind the door. And they both, like you mentioned earlier in the video, is that both are professional. So they're emotional, they're aggressive, but they know how to work together, and that's a very big thing for England right now. That yeah, if they lose, we'll go on the day and see what back happened. Was it a Jude Bellingham problem? Was it a this guy problem? But again, collectively, if you look how Tuchel has set up England, I think you have to commend him for that. He's been brilliant. Maybe there's certain calls that haven't gone in way, like I mentioned, like you mentioned, Declan Rice. I think when Reece James came on, he looked very ginger in the beginning. Reece James didn't look like he was running full speed and stuff. But chalo, the job got done and it happened. And Jude Bellingham found the 2 goals. So those two are working amazingly in tandem somehow. Above the pitch, whatever happens, or like for maybe for Tuchel, he could be a bit more diplomatic but they got at the end of the day, maybe they're happy. They like that friction. Maybe it pushes them one another to outdo the other. The coach wants to show himself, and Jude Bellingham is getting 6 goals. So it's probably good energy to have in the dressing room. But yeah, I think Harry Kane also is a vital thing in this thing. Like he also, as a captain, probably will speak to the coach and think try to maintain that balance. But yeah, I think England right now, the way they're playing, it doesn't look like it's majorly impacted their both friction. They're probably just using it more to drive each other. Jude Bellingham on the pitch and Tuchel off the pitch.
Yes, and do you think England can go all the way in this World Cup?
This is the first time actually our England after the 2020 Euros was one of their better campaigns, and then last World Cup they came against France and lost in the quarterfinals. But I think this time we अपन दोनों यही बात कर रहे थे कि भाई ये बहुत अलग England football है. We're seeing cutbacks, we're seeing crosses, we're seeing different kind of कल भी there was an offside goal where Kane chipped the goalkeeper. Like that was also almost been a brilliant finish. So England has shown resilience in this thing. Yeah, back in the days when England would get concede 1 goal, they would piss themselves. Like they would just be so scared to go attack again. In the Croatia game, 2-2 हो गया था half time में. We thought we'll go see a low block England side. They'll be pissing themselves not to concede another goal and try to sit back on the counter. But England this World Cup has been flawless. By Gordon has picked up amazing passes in the box. I think Saka has come up and shown some impact. Harry Kane has showed leadership in terms of finding the goal. Jude Bellingham is running around everywhere. And I think credit to the backs, whatever Pickford and stuff. So England, this World Cup, I think yes, this has a very good opportunity, and it's not like they're like a team that just got through. It's like this team deserves to be here where they are. Look at the map. They faced some amazing teams. They faced Mexico in Mexico, and they beat them with the 10 men. So this England team is having resilience के साथ साथ attacking intent है. That English team, I think, has the guts to go up against the best of the best right now.
Yeah, they do, and I think the way he's picked versatile players, they're filling in different roles. Reece James was playing a bit more centrally yesterday when he came on, and then he shifted a bit wide to the right. Konsa was started on the right as well, and then you have players moving in and out from different
Yeah,
positions.
yeah,
The way Anthony Gordon has played, I think that's been sensational. I don't think many people thought he was going to be the left wing going in. Sorry, the playing on the left going into the World Cup. He's been really good. Matt Hewitt is starting over Saka, although Matt Hewitt didn't play that well yesterday. But these kind of moves,
yes, yeah,
you didn't think these
that's true.
things would happen. So he's doing different things. He's constantly
Yeah,
changing,
yeah,
experimenting.
yeah,
I think the one characteristic that England and Argentina have is they're not giving up on games. They're trying to fight back.
yeah,
They're not, they've been both in tough positions. It's not been a smooth World Cup for both those teams. England against Congo, they struggled against Mexico. They struggled again against Norway. Argentina struggled against Egypt, Cape Verde, and against Switzerland. So these both teams have struggled, but they have found a way to come back, and sometimes that gives you the
exactly.
confidence to go all the way.
Yeah, yeah,
And whereas France and Spain, it's been a bit more of a cruise control. They've been in a situation where, it's been a bit comfortable for them at times. It's not been that hard. They haven't played
yeah,
too much extra time. I don't think
yeah,
France has even played extra time till now. Spain has played
yeah.
one or so. I'm not. I don't know. I don't even think they've
No,
played. I'm not. I don't
no, no,
remember. So
no, no.
it's
Marino
been.
scored in the 89th, 90th.
Yeah, so they're a bit more in cruise control compared to these teams, but sometimes you need that extra, that when you get those last minute goals, it gives you that
Yeah.
extra confidence to go all the way.
Yeah. And you see the tactical changes that Tuchel is applying also for England. It's been good. Kal ka bhi game they
For
were not able
England
to
is good, but for himself it's not good because they lost control
score
over
too much shots.
the
Yeah,
like,
but like अगर कल भी आप देखो like low block हो गई थी Norway. They were not letting them get through. Offside trap अच्छा डाल रहे थे.
yeah,
He threw in Morgan Rogers. Morgan sort of hit a shot from distance, and
yeah,
that ricocheted off the. So they're trying something. They're seeing कि भाई ये चीज नहीं चल रही. Before आपको याद है 70 मिनट 80 मिनट तक वही टीम
वही टीम खेलती थी, yeah.
वही. But this guy, like, chalo, the Rice thing, it didn't. But end of the day, Reece James did his job. And then the Morgan Rogers substitution, he came, he smashed one, and this ball apparently does have some kind of issue with the keeper not able to grasp it. This
Yeah.
is a lot of complaint from a lot of people. We've seen
Yeah,
like in the last three games, आप देख लो, Sen
I had
Lemens
asked
का
this.
भी यही हुआ.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I had asked this 1 month ago. When the thing started, I remember the first week the ball was slipping
four
away from the
panels. Yeah,
goalkeepers and everything, and it was moving around like that. And they were making to make saves which look like amazing saves, but they're actually regulation saves. So
yeah,
I was asking,
yeah.
was it on the ball? And some people were saying it was because of the chip, but now it's getting more and more.
Yeah, evident. Yeah, and 4 panels ही हैं ये बॉल पे. Usually 16 8 panels रहा तो जरा घट रहता बॉल. अभी ये क्या है, छोटा हो गया है, तो आप अगर हाथ भी आप स्ट्रेच कर रहे ना तो ऐसा चला रहा ना कि अगर साइज बड़ा हो बॉल का तो आपके फिंगर टिप सेफ जो बोलते हैं आप लगता. तो यहाँ पे थोड़े चीजें बॉल को लेके आई मीन आई एम प्रीटी श्योर पीपल विल स्टार्ट एड्रेसिंग इट आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड कप मे बी. बट एवरी
वो जो बॉल ऊपर वायर को लगा वो फिर that shouldn't have stood the goal.
That shouldn't have stood, bro. Like again, rules में लिखा हुआ है वो कि it's a अगर it's like clearly it's like अगर आप क्रिकेट टर्म्स में देखें बॉल कुछ कैमरा पे लग के कैच पकड़ लिया और विकेट दे दिया.
It clearly touched, right?
Yeah. अगर आप ट्रेजेक्टरी देखो
No,
बॉल की
because I saw
falling
the
faster.
I saw the FIFA statement. They said there was no clear evidence that it touched the wire or something. But for us, it
So
touched
they didn't have any SNCO reading. They're going on the SNCO readings of
But
that wire.
yeah, but
but
we saw.
if you look at the ball, it's falling faster. If it hits something, generally the ball will fall because of gravity, right? Like so it'll get pulled down faster. So if you look at the video, it's seeing कि भाई it's pulled down faster. But उनके readings पे वो लोग वो रहे तो I understand what the arguments, but yeah, if it is evident to the naked eye,
Clearly it ricocheted.
yeah.
And you saw the deflection there as well. But the refereeing consistency has been an issue. VR has been an issue. We'll talk more about the other teams. Obviously, we have to discuss Argentina, Spain, England. So we'll do more videos on those as well. We'll do individual. Then we look at the matchups. We'll look at the head-to-head and everything we have today and tomorrow to discuss these things. And then Tuesday is the semi-final. Looking forward to it. Thank you for this interesting conversation. It was about England. Obviously, we all watch the Premier League. So kuch na kuch interest rehta in the team, in the players. But let's see what happens. And make sure you're hitting the like button, subscribe button.